Language is everywhere. In books, your phone, talking to a friend, the newspaper, and so much more. So what exactly is linguistics? Well, instead of me telling you, I'll have a PhD graduate give you a brief yet intricate definition.
It is the systematic and scientific study of the faculty of language.
To help break this down, linguistics is split between two sections, science and humanities. Depending on what subsystem of linguistics you're studying, it will either fall into science, humanities, or both. That being said, most subsystems fall into the science section, as linguistics is starting to implement more math in their theories and ideas. For example, if you're doing syntax, everything will be highly theoretical. If you're doing morphology and phonology, everything will be very data intensive, but still very theoretical. If you do sociolinguistics, it will be data-driven as well as annotation of the data. Unfortunately, the theoretical portions of linguistics are quite frankly boring, so I'll run through each of them quickly. First, syntax. Syntax is the study of how words group together to make sentences. For example, if you have the words the, sees, Matthew, and rabbit, you could rearrange these words to make sentences such as the rabbit sees Matthew or Matthew sees the rabbit. In many languages such as English or Portuguese, the sentences are constructed as subject, then verb, then object. However, this isn't the case in other languages such as Hindi or Irish, where the subject, object, and verb are constructed in different orders. Another way of expressing relationship in a sentence is by adding a morpheme, the smallest unit of meaning. A morpheme would indicate whether the thing being referred to is the do-er or the do-e, the subject or the object. The next subsection I'd like to talk about is pragmatics, the study of the meaning of words and sentences in a large social context. For example, if you say, "Can you get the pencil for me?" I may not be questioning your ability, but instead asking for a favor. Another subsection of pragmatics is inference. In the context of pragmatics, whenever someone says something that doesn't make sense at a literal level, you could infer the meaning. For example, if you say, "Do you want to have a picnic?" and you get a response like, "It's raining," you can infer that the answer is no, even though the responder didn't literally say no. Phonetics and phonology are two very similar subsystems in linguistics. Phonetics is the study of individual sounds in spoken languages or hand shapes in sign languages. Phonology is the study of how these individual sounds or hand shapes are combined into more specific patterns. Semantics is the study of meaning of words and sentences. A very important part of semantics is semantic relationships. These are synonyms, antonyms, hyponyms, and hypernyms. Different languages have different semantic relationships. For example, English has one word, know, whereas Polish say wiem for I know a fact and znam for I know a person. However, in Portuguese, fazer is used where in English to do and to make are used. Morphology is the study of how longer words can be broken down into an internal structure. For example, when looking up the definition of a rabbit hole, you wouldn't understand that meaning by just looking up rabbit and hole and combining them. These words are called relatively unpredictable words. On the other hand, you wouldn't find a dictionary entry for the word deep hole because when you look up the words deep and hole, you can guess the meaning. These words are called relatively predictable words. As well, words can be further broken down into smaller lexemes. For example, if you have the sentence falling down rabbit holes, these words can be separated into fall, ing, down, rabbit, hole, s. This is because these words are predictable. However, you cannot separate rabbit into rab and it because rab doesn't mean anything.